everybody. Thanks for joining us at Game Trade Media at Alliance Open House. I'm Gretchen, and I'm here with Tony from Czech Games Edition.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for being here.
So we're going to take a few moments to talk about what we have coming, and then we're going to jump into playing Letter Jam. So the first thing is Sanctum. Sanctum is a hack and slash game that is coming out in Essen as a pre-release, followed by the retail launch in late November. So we're going to be building up over the next few weeks, and then you're going to hear about it at Essen and everything else coming from us strong about this hack and slash type game coming out from us, Sanctum. Next, I want to mention the Through the Ages, New Leaders and Wonders redeem cards. Through the Ages, number 4 overall game on Board Game Geek. Massive civilization builder, huge audience and popularity. We are fully behind the expansion launch for New Leaders and Wonders. And what's happening here is we actually launched the digital version for the expansion yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So while the physical copy is not available yet, the expansion is available on Android and is in the redemption approval process for iOS right now. So it will be coming out any day now. And what you can do here is this is actually a promotion that we're offering through our retail store partners. And they are going to be able to sell you this redemption card, which has a scratch-off code for the digital version. And then when the game comes into stock, you can just take your card and get the physical copy.
That's awesome.
So what's basically going to happen here is the retailer can put in their store name, and the consumer will have the scratch-off redeem code to get the digital version, which will be free for the $25 cost, which is what the expansion will cost later. So if you pre-order it now, you get essentially the digital copy to fine-tune your skills in advance of the game coming out.
That's awesome.
These are available through all distribution, U.S. and our Canadian partners. So if your retail store doesn't have them, they can easily get them. And basically, this is an offer going through until the end of the year. So through the launch to the end of December, these cards will be valid. So
great.
Yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into playing Letter Jam.
Ready to jam.
Yes, it's my jam. No. Letter Jam is a cooperative word guessing game for 2 to 6 players from Andra Scoopy. And what we have here is this great game where we are trying to guess our own letters. So I'm going to divide the deck evenly, and then what you can do here is go through these letters and make a 5-letter word.
All right.
You're going to any word that you want, and then we're going to give that word to your opponent.
Does that make a 5-letter word? One. That makes a 5-letter. Funny how whenever you have to spell on command, you're just like, nope. Is that? Maybe. All right. Here we go.
So you have a 5-letter, and I have a 5-letter. This is your letters. Do not look at them.
All right.
So these are going to actually go out in front of us in an order. So we have our 5 letters here. Then the remaining deck is going to be shuffled and dealt out to the other stands. And so it says right here on this clue card how many cards go to each of the stands. So it's 7, 8, 9, and 10. And each of these are also going to get a green clue marker underneath them, which I did not have out. So once all of the cards from those stands are used in clues given, then you will gain extra clues that you can give to people. So that's what these different tokens represent. They are the different clues that we have available to give each other. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take the top card and make them face up so that each of us can see all 4 of these letters. So those are all letters that are available for us to make clue words so that we can try to guess our own letters. So now
All
what
right.
we're going to do is we're going to take this first letter of ours and we're going to also make it face up on the stand. But we cannot see this letter.
All right.
So we can see each other's letter, but we cannot see our own. So yes, that's probably the best. So the studio audience can see what our letters are,
And
but
then
then
we're gonna
do this so we can't see them ourselves. Now, what we're going to do here now is we're going to look at all the letters, knowing what we have available. These 5 for me and the other 5 for you, and we're going to think up a word using those letters, and say I have a 4-letter word. It uses 1 player letter and 3 non-player letters.
Okay.
So you can say the number of real players letters it uses, the number of non-player letters it uses, and then you can say whether or not it utilizes the wild card. So the wild card is an extra just in any letter you want. One thing to note is that you can also use letters multiple times. So when you're giving these clues, you can say, I have a 6-letter word that uses 1 player and 2 cards. So you'd be like, okay, that means it's using the same letters multiple times in that clue. It gives you a little bit more information that you might want to go with that one in case it gives you a better hint.
All right.
Okay. So I have a 4-letter word. It uses 1 real player's letter. It uses 3 non-player letters and no wild card.
All right.
Let's say we went with my clue.
Yeah.
So we go right here and we'll go like this. So what happens now is I will take the chips as you go through. They're numbered 1 through 8 and they have different fruits on them. We also have a promotional number 9 token so that you could make a 9-letter word if you're able to. So what happened is this. So I gave a 4-letter and 2 and 3 and 4.
Awesome.
And just so
No peeking. These are thick cards too.
yeah, so you can't see through them. So the studio audience can see what word I've made. You can see everything except for your letter.
Yeah.
So when you write it down, what you will do is you will write down, for example, P-I-N ? And then what you can do here is go, what letters or what words go P-I-N? What letters from the alphabet will fit there? So you could go, does A, does B, does C? And all the letters in the game are actually in black on top of the card. And the grayed out letters are actually not used in this language version of the game.
Oh.
So the English language
That's
version
interesting.
doesn't have J, Q, V, X, or Z in it. And that changes based on different language copies of the game. So, but
All right.
that is what you would write.
All right.
And then if you completely know what your word is or what your letter is, what you can do then is flip it down.
I think I have multiple choices what that letter could be.
Yes. So if you do have multiple choices, then you can choose to keep it face up and continue going for more clues
All right.
and onward. Now, I will have to take a red clue off of the card in the center because I gave a clue. Now, in a 2-player game, the first 3 clues that we give, we are going to take red tokens. And then once all the red tokens are taken off, then it unlocks these green tokens, which are allowable for more clues. So basically, the thing is this. If I take my 3 red tokens, I can't take another red token. So I could only, at this point, give 2 more clues before you must start
no.
giving clues. So it does encourage teammates to work together to all give clues and all help each other out. Because also, if I just continue giving clues, I will never get a clue about what my letter is. So
worst teammate ever. All right.
Okay, so basically now, I'm not going on because I don't know what my letter is,
Yes.
obviously. Are you going to switch letters or continue with this one?
I'll continue with this one.
Okay.
Because I've narrowed it down to, I think, 2 different letters that make sense.
Okay. So now we would go into the next round.
Yeah.
So each of us would say, I have a different word. So I'm trying to think of other words that will use your...
I know.
Okay. So I have a 3-letter word. Uses 2 of the communal, 1 of the players, and not the wild.
All right. I have a 4-letter word, and that uses 2 of the players. Now, you said I could use 1 of the players twice, right?
Yes.
Under the rules. So it does that, and 1 of the wild card, as well as your letter.
So 2-player and the wild card only? Or is it 4-letter? So communal,
4-letter.
communal, wild card, and 2 of mine.
Yeah.
I'd like to go with that one.
Okay.
If you're agreeable to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you will put out the spell out the word.
All right. So I actually meant 5, but that's okay because I can totally count in my brain. And we're going to go this one. And here we go. Bam.
Okay. So now I'd write down my clue. And then I'd go through saying, what could this be? I think I know what it is. So what I'd do in this case is write it down on the bottom, and then I'd flip this down.
All right.
So what we'd do is we'd continue giving each other clues. You'd take this one in that case, and we'd continue giving each other clues. But what happens at this point is that the next round of clue giving, the new letter
and
comes
then you do
in,
the new. Oh.
and you continue from there. Every time that a letter, one of these letters is actually used, you will actually take it out and put up the next one.
Oh, okay.
For the next clue.
So then you can.
So as you go and give more and more clues. The letters will all start revolving, and you get more and different letters to utilize throughout each of the the clues. So, yeah, I think it was an E.
Yes. And I was between K and, because that would spell pink, and, oh, man, that's what I was going to go with.
So you can actually write them in the question mark as you go along.
Keep track of things,
keep
like
track
a
of what you have.
pants. Was I right? Was it? No.
It was T. But as you go along, so you'd continue guessing each other's letters until a point where you have all of your letters guessed. On the very bottom of your card here is where you put all of your letters. Then what you can do is you put them in the order that you think.
Oh, you try to make the word from the
beginning. To make
beginning.
a word. Yes. Oh. So then at the very end, what you do is once everyone has their word guessed, then you flip it up and you see if you made your word. And in this case, I did not make chase. But the thing is this. In Letter Jam, you are not necessarily trying to guess this word. You are trying to guess a word that uses these letters. So if I had it in a different order, like let's say I had that and I had no idea what this was, one player can use the wild card in their final. So I could have done that as my word.
That's excellent.
Also, after you get to through all of your cards, if I just went through and you gave me great clues and I knew what all my words were, but you still had letters and you still had letters that you needed. I would take a card from the deck, put it up on my stand, and then if I could guess what that was at the end of that turn, it would become a bonus word or a bonus letter that people could use when giving clues.
That's awesome.
That you can then also use at the very end to increase your overall word score.
So is there any place we could go to get more information about this game?
Yes. So you can go to czechgames.com. It has all the information there. Czechgames.com or our Facebook or Twitter.
And
pages.
is this game available now?
It is not available yet. It just landed. It just landed in the United States. It will be rolling out to distribution and available in retail stores within a few weeks to a month. And then we actually have a second wave coming right around the November timeframe with After Us in it as well. So.
All right. So thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for showing me the game.
No,
I feel I need a rematch now. I'm like, oh, now I understand. Now I understand.
Yes.
Rematch. But thank you once more for coming out and showing the game. And if you'd like to check out this game, talk to your friendly local game store to find out more.